Where is it? We in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And it is getting dark out here, y'all. What? What time is it? It is 1:54 here, y'all. I don't know exactly, but it's gonna end about 2 something.
Look at it now.
I can't see. Oh yeah, it's almost gone.
I feel bad for the people across the world.
Why you say that?
They don't get to see it.
Right. Y'all, it look like it's like the street lights should be on. The street lights came on.
Look at the ground.
That's the sun rays. That's why they say you can't look at it straight
There
out.
you go.
That's it. That's it, y'all. It's getting dark. It's dark, y'all.
It's a little piece there.
Yeah. It's gone. It's dark, y'all. It's gone. That's it. It's gone completely.
And you should see it without the glasses. Don't look at it, but it's just hard.
I ain't gonna look at it right now.
Like, just get a quick peek.
Hold
You
on.
ain't gonna see this
I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna take this off. Beautiful. Huh?
It ain't gonna do into your eyes. It's just a circle, like of light.
Oh, they said when it cover, you can look. Yeah.
Look at it.
Oh, that's cold, man. That's hard, y'all. Can y'all see it? There y'all go, man. I did it for y'all, man. I drove out here to the country so y'all get a good view. And there you go. 2024 Eclipse, man. That's crazy. You see on the other side of the sun, it's light though, because it's just covering this part, you know? That's crazy.
It's super dark and
Back that way? Yeah, it's super dark.
I'm talking about like towards probably.
Oh, yeah, it's probably real dark. It's still over. I know they say you can look at it. I don't want to get too much down.
It ain't nothing but a ring light, basically.
Uh-oh. It's leaving though.
Yeah.
It's starting to leave, y'all. It's starting to pass from in front of it, as you can tell.
Now that's bright.
You can't look at it now, ain't it? It's coming back.
Man, how can a little piece of sun do all that?
A little piece of sun can do it. That's crazy. That lets y'all know right there how. Oh, I'm in Arkansas, Jonesboro. This. Not they done landed. Do I need to put the thing over it again? They already seen it now. It's gone. It's to move it out the way.
Not yet. It'll take a little bit. Probably take the same amount.
Time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, it's moving back out, y'all. All right, y'all. I think I'm finna get ready to end the live. I hope y'all enjoyed it.
Shit with the phone with
It'll be longer.
it.
I know this is extraordinary for you, too.
Yes, David, Lindsay. Hi, David, Lindsay. Yes, the other. I'm beyond emotional. I'm so, as the Geo and Smart have been saying, the emotion here, the experience, we just are now starting to see light coming back. And I saw some little hints of solar flares, and Smart was talking about the corona prominence. And this year, because of the quality of to Earth, it's just absolutely astounding. I can't wait to see all the incredible science and all the incredible research that's going to come from this moment today. And now we're starting to see a little bit more of the light coming back. And I have to say, also with my colleagues, I'm getting a little emotional myself. And of course, they're playing the score from Space Odyssey, one of my favorite space movies. So it's just absolutely incredible today. Back to you.
And before we let you go, you were talking about some of the solar flares that you were seeing. And we've been mentioning Bailey's beads throughout this experience. And if you can just explain for us, obviously it's named after Francis Bailey, the astronomer, the Englishman, who back in 1836 was able to explain this phenomenon. But just for the people at home.
Yes, and actually Bailey's beads are one of my favorite details of watching a total solar eclipse. The Bailey's beads are actually little hints or glint crossing through some of the valleys and craters of the moon. And so it's absolutely beautiful to catch that. And you see it just before the eclipse, and also just right after, you get hints of those lights. Back to you.
Yeah, those tiny slices of lights through the mountains and the valleys of the moon, and it reminds you that the moon's surface is what it is. Francis Bailey, 1836. Yeah, that's our science lesson for each other.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. I want to get right back to Robin Roberts and Whit Johnson teaming up for this moment. And the skies are already darkening here in Burlington, which means they must be changing there behind you two.
I have to say, I had to put on the temperature has dropped.
Yes.
So I had to put on the blazer. I had chills. It has nothing to do with the temperature is why I have chills. Just witness it for the first time.
And you see how quickly it starts happening. It's getting darker, and on the horizon, starting to see colors from this 360-degree sunset that will start appearing as we get into totality. And we're deeper and deeper into the umbra, the moon's shadow. How far away are we here?
It's happening.
We still got a minute or so before we're in totality. But something to consider here. Forgive me, we're just taking it all in.
It's like what Samaras just said. You know, we're journalists and we're supposed to speak and play-by-play and all that, but you just want to lay out and witness it.
And it's a reminder, too, for people who are in other parts of the country where you'll see a partial solar eclipse. Those glasses always need to be on when you're looking up at the sun. But then there's that moment. Once we see the diamond ring and we move into totality, when we can remove the glasses. And here we are, about 30 seconds left as the moon's shadow is moving over Cleveland right now in front of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. 25 seconds left.
And the countdown is on. Look at it.
All right, I don't want to miss the scene on the ground. Here we go. Here we go. Any moment, you're going to start to see that diamond ring. The last glimmer of the sun flickering, it's disappearing. We're almost there.
Yes!
3, 2, there's the diamond ring.
Whoa!
The Bailey's beads. The Bailey's beads. You can take off the glasses now. Look at that. Woo! Yes. Wow.
Exactly what you wanted. Exactly what you were hoping
and
for.
Robin, see how it's moving. You can see the corona, the wispy curtains of the corona there, and the brilliant light. Wow, you can see the prominences. Those are the little bulges around the edge, and the contrast between the blackness of the moon and the brilliant bright white of the corona. Incredible. Some of the pink colors at the bottom, those are the prominences.
Oh,
helmet
my
streamers.
God.
We got helmet streamers.
Oh, look.
Wow. Okay, that's Venus right there. We can see Venus. Bottom right, we can see Venus. And off to the left, we might be able to see Jupiter.
There's Venus right there.
That's Venus to the bottom right. And Jupiter's right there. See Jupiter.
I just saw it.
We got Jupiter. Look at the prominences. They're pink unbelievable.
You sound so much like your mom right now.
Right?
You sound so much like your
Like
mom.
mother, like son. I got to tell you, in 2017, again, it was at a minimum level of solar activity. So it is much more active and dynamic now. It's moving. It's dancing for us in Cleveland in front of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Incredible.
Some folks.
Let's do it.
Because we have Kevin and we have Judy.
You got Judy.
Oh my gosh. How far did you all travel to be here?
From Virginia,
Why'd you come?
because we've never experienced a total eclipse before, and we're about experiences now in our lives. So
And Judy, you guys were watching Good Morning America, right? And you were like, wait a minute, how can we get there? How did you plan the trip?
it was February. We were just watching the news, and I said, you know, it's going to be, if we wait, we'll never get to do it. Let's plan it right now, and let's go to the Rock and Roll Hall of
Why
Fame.
wait?
and
No
watch.
more kicking the can
No
down
more-
the road.
no.
Experiencing it.
Absolutely.
Oh,
So amazing.
Amazing.
I feel like I'm being rude. I should look at you, but I want to look up.
You have to look up too.
Yes.
No, so cool.
And we have this
We got some
beautiful-
other folks here. We're bringing it. It's so
Woo,
nice.
Come here, honey. Come here, honey.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Judy, for experiencing.
And we don't want to interrupt your view.
You have traveled from where?
San Francisco.
All by yourself.
Yes.
Why'd you want to come here?
It was a last minute decision, but look at this. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, this is everything. It's science, it's beautiful, it's all the people coming together. I mean, it's incredible.
It's this feeling.
It really
The
is.
universe. Don't you feel the universe
I do.
right now?
I do. I feel connected.
Oh.
And it's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it
As
is.
are you.
Thank you. You too.
A lot of people describe an emotional, spiritual. A lot of people describe an emotional, spiritual experience when they see it for the first time. How are you taking this all in?
I'm feeling really grateful, and I was a little teary and very excited, and now I just feel, like I said, connected and just really happy. Really happy. I'm
So
glad I
great
came.
talking to you.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
I want to just show this picture right over here because we got Paisley here. This is her first eclipse, and her brother Ethan. Paisley, what do you think?
I think this is really cool. I really like it. It's really cool to see. I really like it.
And your big brother Ethan saw the eclipse in 2017, right? And you were so excited to share this moment with your sister. What are you feeling right now?
I'm just super happy. This is obviously like it got a lot darker here than it did in Nashville. But the look on her face was priceless. So.
Guys, so great talking to you. Robin, you got to look. The diamond ring's going to come up at any moment. There it is. Glasses on, glasses on. Here we go. And we're going to see this sun, those beams come back. The temperature, we're going to feel it back on our skin. Here we go. Oh, wow.
What an appropriate song right now.
I know. I love it. We got the Beatles taking us home in Cleveland at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Robin, I got to say, sharing this moment with you, too, this is your first. What are you feeling right now? You're feeling it. I know you are.
Woo! It's hard to express the emotions that you feel when you see something like this, and knowing that your mom saw it first down in Mexico. The whole totality, people who are going to see it and know that we're all together like this, something I will never ever forget, and it was special because of you. You got me to stay. I was heading to the airport, and you were like, how could I miss this? And I'm so glad I stayed.
Oh, sharing this moment with you, Robin. I mean, just incredible. You know, the thing that I feel, too, when I saw it last time, and I'm thinking about it here, we spent our whole lives planning everything, trying to take control, right? You know, I'm going to do this so I can get that. I'm going to do this so I can get that job. But in this moment, you realize there are greater forces at play here. And for me, that's a liberating experience.
What you told me is not what I was going to see, but what I was going to feel. Just like your mom said, and that's the truth. It's the feeling. It's a feeling that's indescribable.
I love feeling it with you here. Thank you so much, Robin. And everybody here in Cleveland, guys, I know we're going back to you, but we're just speechless.
You guys were just extraordinary. And Robin Roberts, I got to ask you, the women's final or the total solar eclipse? Come on.
Which excitement eclipsed the other?
An embarrassment of
Robin's
riches,
most memorable
y'all.
24
Embarrassment of
hours.
riches.
I know.
And Whit, I have to say, if this journalism thing doesn't work out for you, science teacher all the way. And I'm just curious, before we let go, just 10 seconds, what's the biggest difference between this eclipse and the one you saw 7 years ago?
Great question. It's exactly what we were talking about, this heightened period of solar activity. This corona was significantly more dynamic than the one that I saw in 2017. We saw those hot pink prominences all around the moon, the vibrating, the dancing corona, the wispy helmet streamers, the whole thing. It was just, there was more to look at. Also, you felt those chills because the shadow was bigger this time in the umbra and the temperatures dropped.
Did you see the other planets before?
Yeah, I did not. I was not able to see Jupiter last time. So seeing Jupiter and, sorry, I'm getting attacked by a bug. Jupiter and Venus, just amazing, guys. Incredible.
Awesome. You guys have been awesome. Robin Roberts, Whit Johnson. We got to get to Rob Marciano and Christina Mitmeyer. Niagara Falls, they got about a minute left of totality there. Christina, what's it like?
Well, I have to say I am, unlike everybody else, pretty much alone on this observation deck. And I can hear the cheering of the crowd on the Canadian side and the American side, but I'm all alone up here, and it honestly feels a little eerie. And it's, I guess, that sense that everybody's feeling, that we are very small and fragile on planet Earth, going across the universe all alone, and really all we have is each other. And I think that's what everybody's feeling, this sense of community as we experience totality.
I love that. Very, very, yeah. The message is heard loud and clear, Christina, and to be put on that platform up over Niagara Falls for us to experience it on your own. Rob Marciano on the ground with the folks who've gathered there in Niagara Falls. And Rob, we can see it. We were nervous about the clouds, but you're seeing it.
David, it's been completely cloud cover all afternoon, and just a window of 15 seconds came in. Just now it's starting to brighten up. We're obviously getting out of the end of totality. But the crowd has been so patient here, wanting so badly to get just a small window to see this eclipse. And we got it. I mean, our signal went down. You can't see me, but you can hear the excitement of my voice. Everybody on this broadcast has been crying because of a spiritual look. I've been crying because I thought I wasn't going to see it.
But David said he predicted this. It would clear just in time.
Yes, it's some happy moments here. Hey, I've got Amy Code. It's her 18th birthday. What did you think of your first eclipse?
It was better than anything. When the sun opened up in totality, I was like so happy.
Happy birthday to you and your family. They drove all the way from Tennessee. We've met so many Americans driving from all over this country, not just to see an eclipse, but to see an eclipse over Niagara Falls. And it wasn't perfect, but they got it done at one of the most scenic sites on the planet, and I can't be more pumped to be a part of it. Christina had a great view. She told us some great stories and ways to capture this on film, but just to experience it in that 15 to 20 seconds, that is a soulful experience, no doubt about it, David and Lindsay.
Just extraordinary to see, and I'm so happy for the people of upstate New York who are experiencing this too. And you know what, Lindsay? Over and over again, it's happened for people. People were so nervous about the clouds, and the power of the universe spoke loud and clear. So we're in Burlington.
Yes, you can see right behind us. It's already, darkness is falling.
2 minutes, 31 seconds until totality.
It's definitely colder.
Much colder,
I
right?
mean, you know,
I can't see you, but I'm going to look up.
Yes, okay,
I don't
that's
want
a
to be...
smart idea. Now let me put my glasses on, and you can see slowly the sun is vanishing.
And you can
It's
hear
just
the...
inching toward the hoots of the crowd here. Some people watching this because we're on Lake Champlain. Many people are out on boats. But listen, people are like hooting and hollering. You hear some of the little kids. But all of a sudden, just as the darkness is falling, you hear the silence starting to emerge, even though there are thousands of people along this shoreline. But aside from a few little screams there from the kids, you can hear everybody is just kind of taking this, marveling at this, kind of very quietly, very personally.
This is an extraordinary community, don't you think, Lindsay?
Oh, and
we felt it the moment we got here on Lake Champlain. The temperature, it's extraordinary, the difference. The temperature drop here, the cool air, and we could feel it even as, you know, Robin and Whit were on experiencing the solar eclipse at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The temperature was already dropping here 2 stops later.
Yes.
And the path that this is speeding up as it travels across the U.S. You can hear the cheers of the crowd. Let's listen for a second.
Yes.
We're getting very close here. Expecting to perhaps see the diamond ring effect or even Bailey's beads. We'll see if it happens here for us. Let's see.
And you see just the moon still just slowly inching across, but it is an eerie feeling. I mean, it really looks like this would be dusk on any other given day. But people all with their heads to the skies, to the heavens, people taking it in just all various ways. Of course, I said this is my first time. People describe this as a supernatural, as a spiritual experience. I have to say that there's nothing like this that I've ever experienced in my life before. And the crowd's starting to cheer here.
Yeah, let's listen to the crowd as this goes into totality. Just a few moments left before it completely disappears.
See just that remaining sliver.
The swell of the crowd, and we'll see that corona here moments from now.
And there we go. There we have it. We can take our glasses off, I guess, at this point.
Wow.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. That is just
stunning. Wow.
Oh, it does. It really does. It leaves you speechless, doesn't it?
That was exactly my thought. Oh, look at the birds. You see the birds.
The birds are
to
flying
fly.
right across the lake here.
Perhaps just a little bit of confusion from them. But we also see, if you look to our left and our right, we have that kind of 360-degree sunset that everybody's talking about. But look at all the birds just over the horizon there.
And just to give people a sense at home as they're watching this play out today, this is like the most beautiful post-sunset moment on Lake Champlain. The mountains and the hills surrounding the lake are backlit right now by what looks like the most beautiful sunset you could imagine. The skies are clear.
And if I'm trying to remember from that science lesson that we had,
Venus
from
and Jupiter.
Is that Venus? Okay, I don't know if we can see Jupiter.
I don't see Jupiter to the left.
Okay.
Venus to the right here. We're definitely seeing Venus.
And you see, look at all the mosquitoes all of a sudden started coming out. We have lots of activity from the animals in the sky.
The birds were just racing across the nighttime
Yes,
sky
and still
here.
are.
And we knew that, they were talking earlier, our friends at Nat Geo, about how the animals really do become confused. Particularly, I would think, not only by the shift in light, but the shift in temperature. The differential is really something.
It really...
I have to tell you, Lindsay, I know you're a newbie to this. I've got one under my belt. The length of totality compared to 7 years ago, it's really an extraordinary difference.
Almost double the time.
Yeah.
And people describe it as, I think the longest one for here in the United States was 4 minutes, 29 seconds. That might have been in Mazatlan, Mexico. But people talk about this being, ecstasy. These 4 minutes of ecstasy. And that's why in a number of places we saw people start to boo once it was over, because you really can't take enough. I'm actually conflicted as far as, do I look at that beautiful ring in the sky, that halo, or the 360-degree sunset? I find is just...
It is stunning.
Stunning.
The backlight hitting all the sailboats sitting here quietly along Lake Champlain. The water is barely moving. It's like ice. It is really, truly breathtaking here in Burlington, Vermont. Flying in, Lindsay, and I'm not sure if you had the same experience, everybody on the plane was flying into Burlington for this moment.
Yes.
And I just feel so happy for all of the people who got on planes and in their cars and traveled with families and loved ones. Because, first of all, you'll have to wait another 20 years before you feel this again. But because they wanted to experience something today that we can all experience together as a country.
And as I was talking about earlier, that couple that I spoke to at breakfast today, they had the blackout Burlington, and they had flown from Detroit, where there was going to be 99% coverage.
There's the diamond ring.
It's beautiful. It's even prettier to witness, actually, now in person than what we've been seeing from the sky. But I am so happy for the McDonald couple and all of the thousands, tens of thousands who are gathered here. There was a big concern that right at 3 o'clock...
We put our glasses back on now because we're past totality.
It's starting to come back out. Thank you for saving my eyes there.
I'm just, well, as we were preparing for this, your retina doesn't have sensors. It can't sense the pain they tell you, so your eyes have no idea the damage. That's why we wanted everyone to be safe today. Wow, and it's like morning again in Burlington. I got up early for Good Morning America this morning, which is always a wonderful thing about that show, is that you get to say good morning to the country and watch the sun come up, but now we get to do it a second time here.
And pardon us having our backs to the screen here, but it's just something to really marvel. And now what I'm seeing is that the TV doesn't do it any justice.
It doesn't, right?
To witness it.
We're glad you're with us here today.
Oh, of course.
But for those who are seeing it in person, I'm completely with you.
Yes, I
but
don't
it's true.
want to turn anyone away.
We hope you're loving it at home, but it is
Channels.
incredible in person. That really, the diamond ring was really...
Yes. Spectacular. A lot of people still actually haven't put their glasses back on, but I guess that is the smart
Well, they're
thing to
taking
do.
photographs now, right? But there are people lining the shores of Lake Champlain here and really in every direction. And now to watch everything backlit like it's morning, like an early morning dawn here in Burlington, Vermont. And we knew this was going to race across the country, but I didn't quite expect for it to go this quickly, right?
It's still like 4 minutes has never gone so fast. We really could take more. I mean, it's just something, and you want everybody to experience it. And that is, something that we continue to hear, a sentiment that has been shared from city to city along this stop, is knowing your space in your place in space, really, right? And just how we are, just all these little dots. It really gives you perspective, just in this one small galaxy, just how, I guess, reliant we are on all these things that are happening out of our control around us, and this really gives us that perspective.
It sort of puts us in our place in all the right ways, right, Lindsay? And you and I have talked about this on all the big stories we've covered together, whether it's politics in our country or natural disasters or traveling to Ukraine, the war overseas, Israel and Gaza, of course. And we know it can be heavy for people at home, all of the news. And I just hope that today was a break for America and for people to sort of remind themselves that we've got a lot much more in common. What connects us is much stronger than sort of the polarization that we hear often.
Exactly. As I was mentioning before, this is universal. There's no language that you need. Even as Robin was saying, she didn't have the words in the moment. And I think that quite often people think of the news as despair. And this is something that we can all kind of rejoice about. Just kind of take a break and have that breathtaking moment in stacked spaces across the country.
So this was Burlington, Vermont. This is going to go to Maine next before this then goes to the far eastern reaches of Canada. Are we in totality in Holton, Maine? We are in totality. Look, there's the image right there. Forgive me as I hold my hand to the camera here because the light is shifting so rapidly here as it becomes daylight again. But what a beautiful sight in Holton, Maine as this prepares to exit the continental United States
go
and then
Canada,
into the eastern reaches, Nova Scotia, right?
Canada, and then off back into the Atlantic Ocean. This really was kind of like a gigantic Nike swoosh from the Pacific Ocean up to the northeast into the Atlantic Ocean, where it'll finally make its final sunset, so to speak.
When it crossed into the United States, traveling from Mexico into the U.S., it was traveling at about 1,600 miles per hour, up to 1,850 miles per hour as it reached Indianapolis, 2,500 miles per hour when it hit upstate New York, and it's going to exit the United States, that part of the journey, at about 3,041 miles. We've been talking about the difference between this year's solar eclipse and the one 7 years ago. This comes during what they call solar maximum, during the end of sort of that 11-year cycle of solar activity. And they were saying that's why you're seeing the far reaches of the plasma there, which, by the way, is an astounding 2 million degrees. That's why we're seeing what we see. But this is far different, Lindsay, from 7 years ago. Just
7 years ago when you saw it, we didn't have that halo
It was a much thinner
effect?
line. It was a much thinner line, sort of a glow, but not this one where it sort of reaches off. And they were saying
this is a dream for scientists everywhere, right? I mean,
and for those of us who are doing our best. Well, we're not pretending, but we are definitely giving it our best. I hope people think. But that's just extraordinary. And the diamond ring, that for me was just
stunning,
wasn't it?
I had seen the pictures, I had done the research, I had read the articles, but nothing compares to just seeing it and just taking it in. I'm sure that young lady who got proposed to on the ground there in Dallas today, the diamond ring she has, I'm sure she is marveling at. But this is one diamond ring I'll certainly never forget.
They won't forget it, and I won't forget who I was standing next to either for this extraordinary sight.
Cross my lucky stars being here to witness it with you.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back with more right after this. Breathtaking, as you can see, and speechless.
ABC News and National Geographic's coverage of Eclipse across America is brought to you by Verizon Business.
My name is my brand. My store and my design business were exploding.
In a good way.
But my old internet was not letting me run the show.
It needed a total redo. Ugh.
So we switched to Verizon Business Internet. Easy. They have business-grade internet nationwide. Fast, reliable, and easy to set up.
Boom. Instant makeover.
Now this room, it's really working.
Make the switch. It's your business. It's your Verizon.
What does it take to be the most watched newscast in America?
An operation to capture ISIS fighters.
Is this our Combat Operations Center?
We're approaching the gate now. Militants came in from 4 or 5 different directions.
Operational nuclear reactor.
So you have a couple loaded and ready to go. The house is destroyed, but the flag, there's not a tear in it.
Not a tear in it.
How important is this label right here, Made in the USA?
Look at your smile. You're proud of this.
I love this.
Great work.
Hi.
Where are you? Where are you?
Appreciate you. Thank you, David. Good to meet you.
Ismail? David.
Yes, yes. I'm David Muir.
I know who you are.
You
Watch
do?
you every night.
ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast.
Right now, there's just so much happening in our world. So much at stake at the start of every morning.
Making sense of it all, that's not always so easy.
And that's where we come in.
Good morning, America. We want you to know every morning.
We're right here, and we got you.
Why do so many people start their day here?
From ABC News, this is Start Here.
To be in the know and get a different take on the day's top stories.
A lot of news today, so let's get into it.
Listen now to the Daily News Podcast honored with 4 Edward R. Murrow Awards and see why the New York Times calls it a news podcast worth listening to. Start Here, ABC News. Make it your daily first listen.
Now, that's a part of the story I bet you didn't see coming.
Wherever you get your podcasts, start here.
First thing in the morning.
There's a lot going on.
Yet another avalanche warning that's up.
To catch you up with what happened overnight. A dangerous ice storm is impacting the morning commute.
What's happening today? Escalating tensions in the Middle East.
What people are talking about, the migrant crisis.
Fast, straightforward.
With some fun in between.
How does billionaire sound?
Sounds good to me. The moose started chasing a dog.
First thing in the morning.
America This Morning.
America's #1 early morning news.
On ABC News Live.
Beyonce's conquering country.
My family loves Beyonce.
Cowboy Carter comes into the world at a very complex time. People are saying this song is too good to resist.
Just because you sing hip-hop music with a country accent does not make it country music.
The stay in your lane, well, that's not real country. It takes somebody who is at superstar status to do something that shakes it all up.
It's Beyonce country. This is Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu. What's good to watch, read? Where can I get a great deal on what I'm just dying to buy? Oh, it's all right here. GMA Life. Get the latest celebrity buzz, deals and steals, and the coolest lifestyle tips from GMA.
I love that so much.
Streaming weekends on ABC News Live.
It's lunchtime in America, so what are we serving up?
Well, how about everything you need to know?
That sounds pretty good. Your health, your money, breaking news, music, and of course, good food. A third hour of GMA in the afternoon.
So join us, afternoons.
For everything you need to know. I love that.
You're watching America's #1 streaming news. Keep streaming with ABC News Live. Back to ABC News and National Geographic's coverage of the eclipse across America. Here once again, David Muir and Lindsay Davis in Burlington, Vermont.
Welcome back to live coverage here on ABC News National Geographic, our special event, the Eclipse Across America. And look at beautiful Lake Champlain back in the light. It's like watching the sun come up twice here in beautiful Burlington, Vermont. And Lindsay, they queued up that moment that you and I were talking about again in the break. And if we could just show everybody at home, because this is truly one of the most extraordinary things I will ever remember seeing, particularly with you, Lindsay, is that diamond ring moment.
All the more memorable to witness this moment next to a star.
Yeah.
So, David, thank you for kind of holding my hand through all of this. But, yeah, it's a fleeting phenomenon that I will forever remember. I hope that young kids were able to witness this moment. And again, as we've been talking about, just how this could potentially change their trajectory and encourage them to embrace science and nature and art. Just fascinating.
And, you know, maybe one of the young minds watching today in person in one of these cities in America will want to be the next astronaut on the International Space Station. We're getting our first images, our first reaction from the ISS. Gio Benitez is in Indianapolis. He covers aviation and space for us. And, Gio, what are the NASA astronauts reporting in from their view?
And you know what? We've been talking about how special and rare it is, what we've been witnessing here in person, but this image, this video is extremely rare and special for the viewing audience right now, because Drew Feusel, again, NASA astronaut, is with me, and you were telling me that this image perhaps is unlike any other that we've seen because everything aligned perfectly.
Yeah, it's really serendipitous, right? The only reason we got that shot is because the space station happened to be flying over the northeast U.S. right at the exact time that the eclipse path, the shadow, was coming across the nation. So at that moment, everything has to happen at the same time. NASA trained their high-definition external cameras on the shadow, and you could see that black spot moving across the country. And then it was gone because ISS is traveling at 17,500 miles an hour. That shadow's moving fast. You saw how quickly it got from Indianapolis out to Maine. It was a matter of, 10 minutes or something. Next thing we know, we're looking at it out there, and then it's going to go off the coast. So to have all those things line up, the sun, the moon, the spin of the Earth, the space station,
Perfect eclipse. The perfect eclipse.
And I hope that tonight Purdue's game.
Drew Feusel, NASA astronaut. Thank you so much. Lindsay and David, back to you guys.
Thank you, guys.
And Gio, thank you so much. When we started our coverage, David, of course, learned. So was it true to have a reaction to the eclipse?
Oh, no, not the bats, but swallows, in fact. We had a cave swallows uniquely, so I was go again to the side. But during totality, there was one group of them left in the sky, and we captured this moment of corona and swallows and some raptors around them. It was interesting, the shortest eclipse I have ever seen, because it was 4 minutes, 20 seconds, but we only had a window of 5 seconds. This is probably one of the most challenging eclipses I've dealt with. After the sandstorm in Kenya, this was the most challenging. And it opened up in an overcast sky just 5 seconds before totality. We had the diamond ring, we had the Bailey's beads, we had a little bit of corona, and then it disappeared, and we had the darkness all around. And we, of course, lost all our audience, because everybody left maybe 1 second after totality, but there are still some dedicated astrophotographers. Eclipse.
So bottom line, it would seem the bats were not fooled, but the birds did travel as soon as the light changed and the temperature shifted.
That's right. The temperature dropped notably 10 degrees Fahrenheit on average. And I still have some cameras running. One is focused on a number of cacti flowers which completely closed during totality. It was great. And I had another camera on a beehive, which I checked them 10 minutes before. There was no activity. They stopped buzzing during the totality. So these footage, I'm still going through the video inside the cave with swallows, but I had this wide-angle shot of the totality through one of the skyline where the bats are coming in. And that was probably one of the best shots, as well as a close-up of the diamond ring.
Well, that's extraordinary. I love what you do. It makes us even more interested to hear it straight from you. Thanks so much, and to hear that the bees stopped moments before totality, stopped the buzzing.
13th eclipse, by the way, and we witnessed the same thing with the birds. Now we have some seagulls, but other than that, the birds have gone back.
Yeah, and they were kind of flying directly, like right across horizontally. It was really something, and quickly they shifted sort of their behavioral pattern. We'll have to go back and look at the tape because it was crazy going right behind us. We're going to be back with much more. We're going to check in on the wedding. Robin Roberts, Whit Johnson. Maybe we'll check in on Whit's mother, Sharon Johnson, a valuable member of our team here today as well. We'll
and
be right
send
back.
in your pictures as well.
Eclipse Across America, right? The hashtag. We'll be right back.
ABC News and National Geographic's coverage of Eclipse Across America. Brought to you by Verizon Business.
My name is my brand. My store, my design business, we're exploding.
In a good way.
But my old internet was not letting me run the show.
It needed a total redo. Ugh.
So we switched to Verizon Business Internet. Easy. They have business-grade internet nationwide. Fast, reliable, and easy to set up.
Boom. Instant